Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. It is really, really good to be back talking to you guys again. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody, okay? I do have a message from the Arcturians for you guys, okay? They're saying there is a quiet collective shift happening. That's what they're calling it, quiet, collective, and monumental. Okay, let me just read. I do have my handy notes here so I don't forget anything, you guys, okay? Oh, and you might feel this physically yourself. This is largely how I interpret information, is through my body. I'm very clairsentient, and really that's an understatement. I'm extremely clairsentient, okay? And many of you are as well. Okay, you might feel this physically, you might feel this in your mind's eye, or see it rather in your mind's eye. In terms of what's happening, you might get evidence of this throughout your day. Many of you might be claircognizant, and just have a knowing. Okay? Yeah, they're calling it a quiet collective shift. It's overarching and monumental and will have long-standing effects. Again, I'm quoting the Arcturians here, okay? So we are being prepared for something completely different. We meaning individually, many of us, and the planet, okay? This will affect every person, but it might not affect you in a large way in your individual life, okay? But it might. It just depends on where you are along your course. If you are in the middle of creating something really, really big, if you are being accelerated into a different role, okay? Accelerated not meaning putting you ahead or above someone, meaning it's expedited. Okay, so you didn't know you were prepared to do this thing and suddenly you're doing this thing. Okay, that kind of a gear shift is what really you might be being prepared for. And the planet is being prepared for this gear shift. Okay, so I'm going to continue quoting the Arcturians here. They are saying this is a cycle opening and closing at the same time. So like that. Okay, it's just opening and closing at the same time, but we're like in the middle, okay? They're saying many of you might feel like you're in this liquid realm of unclear possibilities, okay? That is how it came through. These are the words that they used, okay? As if potentials keep shifting. Okay, potentials could be thought of as timelines, as if timelines, streams could be shifting. You could think of it that way, but potentials, for me, they're always shown to me to be this very minute thing. Think of it like an atom. Now, this isn't what this is, but the point is an atom contains within it components that make it what it is. There are charges. There are electrical charges within the one element that make it unique, right? And are their own universes. So anyway, to get to the point, everything can be broken down into a smaller component. And so with these potentials, they're showing me this very small component. And in fact, the way that I saw it in my mind's eye was like a liquid or gelatinous mass of electrically charged particles was how this looked to me. Now that's what my human, that's the description my human gave this, okay? These aren't the Arcturians' words, but this is what I was shown, this gelatinous mass. Not altogether unpleasant. That sounds terrible, you know? We're moving through a gelatinous, it's not like the Blob, okay, like in the 70s or anything like that. It's just gelatinous in the way that it moves, not necessarily the way that it feels. I hope I'm making sense here. I'm really trying to give you a good description of this because we're in this now. We're always in this potential, just to be clear, but it's heightened right now, okay? And it's like we are kind of moving in slow motion. I almost want to think of the movie Inception. Time has slowed down for us in a way. Now, that's not literal, but this is what it's feeling like and looking like in this mass. Okay, time most certainly has not slowed down, just to be clear. But within this mass, it's a slow moving, like we're feeling the elements of this. We're feeling all of this or sensing it or picking up on it kinesthetically. At a very heightened way. Okay, So I hope that this is making some kind of sense, you guys. I'm trying to describe this, but just allow the image to come to you. Even as I am stumbling over my words, trying to get this across, images will be coming into your consciousness to really define for you what I'm talking about. You don't have to say it the way I'm saying it, okay? So while in this passage, I'm quoting them again, while in this passage, there is damage being repaired. Everybody, okay? This is huge. Remember, it's individual and it's planetary. There is damage being repaired. It's being repaired throughout your field and throughout the planetary field. Okay, we're going to correlate that again. It's clearing dense memory information from childhood, stubborn generational trauma passed forward. So more of that, and this has been ongoing. So this is still going to continue. Also, the physical structure is clearing mismatched frequencies as you have consciously chosen heightened paths at this time. Very heightened paths. And they're saying, but as elevated as those paths are, your subconscious and your higher aspects have chosen even more advanced, heightened experiences. Okay, so yeah, this is big. And then what's happening is there are now new doorways. There's new potential. It's almost going to be like a Mandela effect in a way, though, you guys. That's the phrase that kept coming to me. That's not what the Arcturians said. But it's going to be almost like that, because it will be like 1 minute over here, you remember something one way, like details were one way very, very clearly. And then suddenly the details have shifted over here. You wake up and you feel very comfortable, even though you've gone through this experience, suddenly you're fine. But certain details are different, like your path, your route has changed. And that's what they meant in the beginning, like it's going to be completely different. And so they mean not with each detail, not with every detail, but there will be monumental changes on a grand scale, which will affect your overall lifestyle, the way that you are able to experience things within your physical experience, but also within your energy field, within your etheric field. Okay. So even the way that interacts is going to come to some heightened level. Okay, I was trying to see what they meant as they were saying it to me, but I'm still in this sort of exhausted state just a little bit. Okay, I'm coming out of it, but I'm still adjusting myself. Okay, and so it's going to be very important for everybody to stay as clear as you can. Especially your heart field, but all of your chakras. We'll think of this in terms of chakras right now because it's going to pinpoint certain areas of your life. But your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart, these are heavily being affected right now because of the will, the drive, these new ideas. All right. And of course, they all will be. But in particular, also because these might be the areas that denser energy will seek to affect. And we're using the word seek loosely. All right, it's more of a naturally occurring event. Of course, there are those energies that will seek certain damaging things, okay? And so, yes, we'll include that as well. But for the most part, for the purpose of this message, we're talking about the natural pendulum swing, okay? It will affect these areas, and many of these areas are what are being cleared right now, so that you are very clear and have the full use of your power, the full use of your drive. You can feel your desires and have the energy to begin to take steps to bring them to fruition. In other words, experience. It's all about the experience, okay? And this shared goal of elevating the planet to its next wonderful stage of evolution for this planetary collective. All right, everybody. So I hope that this message made some sense, you guys. I really, really hope it made sense. Okay. And I will talk to you guys again very soon, I hope. That is the plan. Welcome to all of the new listeners. And of course, there's so much wonderful soul family here. Thank you so much for coming into this quantum stream all of the time and allowing all of us to have the benefit of your extremely powerful, beautiful, high frequency energy, okay? And so, yeah, I very much am grateful, happy, and blessed to be able to do this for and with you guys. Actually, not for, but with you guys. Okay? And I will talk to all of you again very, very soon. Namaste.